What's up, YouTube? This is Big Mike. In this video, I want to do a video. I want to answer a video request from a subscriber of mine named Vincent N23. He wanted me to do a video comparing the 1992 Olympic men's basketball team, aka the Dream Team, versus the 2012 version. And here's my opinion. We all remember that Kobe Bryant famously stated just before that team was put together, I believe, well, not put together, but before that team actually competed in 2012, that he thought that team could beat the 1992 Dream Team. And I think theoretically they could. If you're talking about playing one actual game, yeah, they could. I mean, I remember the Clippers beating the Bulls a couple of times, you know. We all remember the Warriors losing to the Grizzlies and shit a couple of times. You know, it can happen. But if you're talking about throughout a series, that's a different matter. Might take me a little while to remember the 2012 team, but I remember that team only had one center. I think Blake Griffin was supposed to be selected, but he went down with an injury. Phone's done. He went down with an injury, and therefore he was not able to play. And I believe it was Tyson Chandler was the only true center on that team. And I think in the post it was Kevin Love, Anthony Davis. I'm trying to think, am I forgetting anybody? I'm trying to remember everybody was on that team. I remember that team had 3 point guards. It was Chris Paul, Deron Williams, so that's 5. Russell Westbrook, so that's 6. At that time, James Harden was still a shooting guard, 7. Andre Iguodala was playing shooting guard, so that's 8. Kobe Bryant, of course, 9. Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. I think that's everybody. I had to think a little bit for that team. 1992 is just easy to recall. You know, John Stockton, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Chris Mullin, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, and David Robinson. Okay. These are the advantages that I see for the 2012 team. Overall, athleticism. You know, they have youth, athleticism to their advantage. Also, outside shooting. Yeah, the 92 team had Bird and Mullin and Stockton. But as far as the degree to which the 2012 team uses that shot, how many guys can shoot that shot even into the 4 position, those are the advantages that they have. Now, overall, the 92 team has experience on their side and size. Emphasis on the size, especially in the center position. That's where I think the series will be won, in the trenches down there in that position. Like, it's just, I think it'll be too much for, in my opinion, the 2012 team to overcome. But let's go matchup to matchup as far as position is concerned. All right. Point guard position, you have 2 Hall of Famers for 92 Dream Team, Magic Johnson and John Stockton. Magic was pretty much still in his prime, but I think by 92, on the defensive end, Magic was slipping. He never was a great defender to begin with, he was good, but by that time he was slipping. He was 32, close to 33 years old. John Stockton was in the prime of his career. Nasty defensive guy, great player. But I think that team would have had problems with the quickness and speed and the depth of the point guard position for the 2012 team. All right. Like I said, you had Russell Westbrook, Deron Williams, and Chris Paul, who was closer to his prime. Not to mention the fact that you had James Harden, who could play that position as well. I think, if you remember, the one player in the 90s who gave John Stockton nightmares on defense was Gary Payton. And Gary Payton was not, as great as he was not nearly as dynamic as Russell Westbrook. And as far as Magic Johnson is concerned, look at 1987 playoffs. Look at the problems that Eric Sleepy Floyd gave that team in one particular game when he scored 51 points. And I even remember during the 30 for 30 documentary, the one weakness that people saw with the 92 Dream Team was that a quick, athletic point guard could cause problems for that team. Another advantage, and the biggest advantage I think that the 2012 team has over the 92 team, is the small forward position. When you have LeBron James, who I think is the greatest small forward of all time, and Kevin Durant, a guy who I think is probably going to go down as the greatest scoring small forward we've ever seen. All on one team. It's too much for 92 Dream team to deal with. Yeah, you had some guys that could score. Pippen, Chris Mullin was a very good spot-up shooter. Bird, by this time, as great as Larry Bird was, Bird was finished. You know, Bird was pretty much put on this team just as a salute to you. You deserve to be on this team. Now, just shoot your threes and sit your ass down when you're not playing. You know, ice your back. Bird's a non-factor defensively. Bird's just there to shoot, and sparingly. As great a defender as Scottie Pippen was, no one's going to be able to shut down LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And if the series is going to be won by the 2012 team, it's going to be with that pivotal position. So those are the advantages for the 2012 team. Now, before the 2012 team, fans cry out and say, "Yeah, Mike, great video. We knew you see the light." The 92 Dream Team has some advantages of their own. Number one, the shooting guard position. As great a player as Kobe Bryant is and was, at that time, he was 34 years old, going into the downside of his career, and we all knew that Kobe really slipped after 34. My phone is dying, man. Michael Jordan, 29 years old, at the peak of his career. Most of us will say that Michael, the first signs that he was slipping was 92-93 season when he turned 30. This was just before that. So Michael Jordan's at the peak of his powers. I see a lot of problems at that position for the 2012 team. Not to mention Clyde Drexler, who was in the prime of his career. So this is a position that can be potentially fatal for the 2012 team. And I'm not even done yet. I mean, the power forward position. Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, two of the nastiest, most physical, strongest guys in their position ever. Against Kevin Love. Coach, I want to come out. I got a concussion. Kevin, Take your ass back in that game. But I want to go. Like my head hurt. Man, Kevin Love's one of those guys who, in my opinion, when his confidence is high, when he's getting the ball, he gets to a rhythm. He plays better, rebounds better, makes everybody else around better. When his confidence is shot, when he's not mentally in the game, that's when he can hurt people around him. And I see that happening quite frequently in a supposed series with 92 Dream Team. Man, I can see Barkley and Karl Malone, especially Barkley, talking Kevin Love out of the game. You know, like I can see now Kevin Love is a matchup. He can be a matchup problem with his outside shooting, but we all know he can be a little erratic with that at times. But I think that'll be negated by the inside scoring and rebounding of Barkley and Malone. I can see Malone getting in his head. I can see Malone especially, just the physical play. They would just make this guy foul out, man. I could just see Kevin Love quitting in this series. Anthony Davis, yeah, he could be some problems. But you got to remember, Anthony Davis was a lot younger then. Okay, this was a rookie Anthony Davis. And I just see the psychological warfare being won by Barkley and Malone. And the biggest advantage in this series to me is the center position. The only real center that they had was Tyson Chandler. He'd been undersized, dealing with David Robinson, just David Robinson for his injuries. Fast as a gazelle, strong as an ox. Patrick Ewing, this is when he was still 30 years old. Still close to his prime, or in his prime. Oh my God, the front court would fucking murder 2012 team, man. And then the other intangibles that you can't look at with just stats or names. Psychologically, I think 92 Dream Team, with the exception of Kobe Bryant and maybe Russell Westbrook, everybody else, I see them being very susceptible to mind games and psychological warfare with the 92 Dream Team, man. You know, oh yeah, and Chris Paul.